From Fox News, security at California Coast Guard base opens fire on U-Haul truck posing direct threat. Late Thursday night at Coast Guard base Alameda, security opened fire on a U-Haul truck after the driver ignored stop commands and drove erratically, backing toward the entrance. Officers discharged rounds when the vehicle posed a direct threat, but no personnel were injured. The driver fled after accelerating forward. The truck had been parked outside all day. Two men later sought hospital treatment, one possibly the driver. This followed a protest blocking CBP agents. The incident coincided with Trump's postponed federal troop surge to San Francisco, where the base was a planned staging area. From CNN, when masked agents descended on a Chicago suburb, residents disrupted the operation with hollering and blaring car horns. In Mount Prospect, near Chicago, texts alerted neighbors to ICE agents and a helicopter overhead, searching yards for an escaped criminal described variably as a gang member or sex offender. Locals like Dawn Ardito rushed out, filming and demanding agents leave, saying their community belongs. For over an hour, they screamed, honked horns, and tailed vehicles. In broader Chicago resistance, groups hand out whistle kits to alert others during raids. Amid over 1,000 arrests in Operation Midway Blitz. Vendors hide as immigrants fear going out. Chicago's at the center of legal fights over National Guard deployment, with courts blocking some moves as protests clash with enforcement. From ABC News, New York Attorney General Letitia James pleads not guilty to mortgage fraud charges. New York Attorney General Letitia James pleaded not guilty in Virginia to bank fraud and false statements charges, stemming from a 2020 home purchase allegedly misrepresented as a second home for a better rate. Indicted by Trump's appointed U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan after ousting her predecessor, James faces up to 30 years per count. She calls it retribution for suing Trump. Sources say an internal memo found James bought the home for her great-niece rent-free, undercutting fraud claims. Her team challenges Halligan's appointment and media leaks. James vows faith in the justice system, decrying its weaponization. Trial set for January. Motions on vindictive prosecution due soon. From Newsweek, Donald Trump's Hispanic approval rating in sharp decline. Poll. A new AP NORC poll shows just 25% of Hispanic adults view Trump favorably in October, down from 44% in January, amid his immigration crackdowns. Overall approval of Trump's job handling fell to 27%, with economy and immigration ratings slipping. Even among Hispanic Republicans, favorability dropped from 83% to 66%. Aggressive enforcement, like mass deportations in cities like Chicago, has impacted support. 73% of Hispanics say the U.S. is on the wrong track, up from 63%. While Hispanics prioritize immigration, only 25% favor deporting all undocumented versus 40% of all U.S. adults. Poll warns for 2026 midterms. From USA Today, man who played Star Wars' song at National Guard sues after D.C. arrest. D.C. resident Sam O'Hara sued an Ohio National Guard sergeant and D.C. police after being detained for playing Darth Vader's Imperial March while following and recording troops, protesting the Guards' present sent by Ohio Governor DeWine. O'Hara used the song as satire. The sergeant called police after threats to stop bothering them. Officers handcuffed him tightly for 15 to 20 minutes before releasing without charges, causing wrist injuries. Lawsuit claims First Amendment violation, excessive force. ACLU backs O'Hara, saying government can't punish funny protests. He warns of risks from troops on streets normalizing occupation. From the Wall Street Journal, inflation edges up, but less than expected to 3% rate. September inflation rose to 3% year over year, up from 2.9% in August, but below economists' 3.1% forecast. Easing housing costs helped. Tariffs contributed to higher prices in apparel, furniture, and coffee, up 18.9%. But not all costs passed to consumers. Energy and food rose modestly. It keeps the Fed on track for rate cuts amid weak hiring, just 22,000 jobs in August. Immigration crackdowns may raise service costs like lawn care, up 13.9%. Stocks rose, consumer sentiment fell due to sticky prices. Shutdown delays data, but private surveys show slight input cost hikes. And as always, thank you for the like, comment, and subscription.